When I was a child, my family was not well off, so my parents chose to keep my younger sister and abandon me at the door of an orphanage. Later, I inherited billions of dollars from my adoptive parents, but my biological parents came to my house and cried and admitted their mistakes to me. My sister scolded me for being an unfilial daughter and asked for tens of millions in alimony. I donated 10 million to the Animal Protection Association. Sorry, I wouldn't give you a penny of this money even if I threw it to a dog. I never thought that I would see AI Shui again in this life, and it was at the beginning of my freshman year. What I didn't expect was that we were actually assigned to the same dormitory. However, AI Shui didn't recognize me. After all, I have changed my last name now, but she is different. That annoying look has never changed since I was a child. When I was a child once, just because someone complimented me that my eyes were bigger than hers, AI Shui, who was only 4 years old at that time, strangled me and said she wanted to kill me. When I was 6 years old, my biological father lost money in business and our family conditions plummeted. One day, AI Shui suddenly said to me triumphantly, "AIU, your parents don't want you anymore and want to throw you away. You are a piece of trash that no one wants. You deserve it." Then I was really thrown away. It was also my good fortune that I was later adopted by a young couple who could not have children. They took me home and loved me like their own daughter. It was my 18th birthday a week before school started. My adoptive parents gave me a card as a birthday present with 50 million pocket money in it. In the dormitory, everyone was busy making their beds and complaining about the military training that would last for another half a month. It was so hard to bear. The girl sleeping in the lower bunk looked up and asked, "Xia Chaoran, why haven't you said anything? I don't even know where you are from." "I'm in L City," AI Shui exclaimed, her tone a little sarcastic. "Do you feel that people nowadays are becoming more and more vain? The smaller the city, the more they like to compare. The locals of our S city are still thinking about keeping a low profile on the first day of freshman year, but some people from small families are showing off first. How can you have the nerve to carry an out-of-season model?" As he spoke, he glanced at me with a hint of something, at the donkey bag on the table. I was speechless. To be honest, I have a lot of bags, but this LV is the one I carry most often recently. One, because this was the birthday present my boyfriend Suchi gave me on my birthday last month. I know Suchi's family conditions are not good, but he was willing to spend 10,000 yuan to buy me a bag. I was very touched. Besides, what's wrong with my family being in L City? My father is in the new energy business and his hometown is L City. I just have feelings for L City. Moreover, we have so many houses. If we want to live in any city, it's just a matter of a few plane tickets. We don't even have to pack a suitcase. The houses in every city are all large flats in the city center with fine decoration. Oh my god, suddenly someone exclaimed, and I looked over subconsciously. Someone picked up AI Shui's transparent makeup bag. AI Shui, you actually use Hylon at our age. How come you use such an expensive brand? I'm not willing to give it up. AI Shui climbed down from the upper bunk and sat there combing her hair like a young lady. That thing is not a good thing either. I usually use it as a body lotion. It's so inhumane to use it on you. AI Shui, can you let me use your face cream tonight? I have lived for 19 years and have never used such expensive skincare products. AI Shui hesitated for 1 second, and then responded very happily, "Okay, use it." I looked at AI Shui's stubborn look and found it funny. Later, I arranged for someone to inquire about AI Shui's family. His family's conditions are not much better than when he abandoned me. I heard that he had a car accident half a year ago and was paralyzed in bed. Now the whole family depends on his mother to make money at the snack stand. Jia Mingyuan pretended quite similar. After the military training that day, my boyfriend and I agreed to meet in the first cafeteria. Our class was dismissed a little late, and I was afraid that he would wait for me too long, so I almost ran all the way to the first cafeteria. As soon as I entered the cafeteria, I saw Suchi sitting by the window and waving at me. Suchi pushed the lunchbox in front of me. "You must be hungry, eat quickly." I opened the lunchbox and saw that it was full of my favorite food. My heart couldn't help but warm. Seeing that I was eating happily, Suchi was a little hesitant to speak, and finally hesitated and said, "Chao Ran, how much living expenses do your parents give you a month? What's wrong with this matchmaker? If you have extra money, can you lend me some? How much do you want?" 30,000. Suchi drooped his eyelids. "Something happened in my family. I have been here for the past 2 days. Tian has been raising money everywhere. I came to you for help because I had no other choice. 30,000 yuan is nothing to me." Seeing that he was in such a dilemma, I didn't ask any more questions and directly transferred the money to him. I didn't take it seriously at first, until a week later, AI Shui returned to the dormitory with a brand new Chanel bag on her back. She was so proud of it that she put it on her desk as if she was afraid that others would not see it. The other roommates had never carried such an expensive bag before, and their eyes widened at once. "AI Shui, you are great. This bag is not cheap, is it?" "Fortunately, it is only more than 20,000 yuan. It was given to me by a suitor." AI Shwe smiled proudly, glanced at me and said in a weird tone, although it is not expensive, it is not out of season after all. It is comfortable to carry. The group of roommates all surrounded AI Shwe. Some stroked her bags as if they were holding some treasure, and some put their arms around AI Shwe. Awesome, Xiao Shwe. You are the most charming one in our dormitory. Tell me who that person is. What does he do? Is he a student? I met him when I was playing King of Glory. What a coincidence, he is from our school, a sophomore, and his last name is Su. As soon as these words came out, everyone around started to make a fuss. What a coincidence, if I were a man I would also like AI Shwe. She is pretty, a local, and a rich woman. Unfortunately, I am not a man. If I were a man, I would chase you too. AI Shwe was a little flattered by being pursued. But no, my dad drives a 1 million car, which is nothing in S City. Only you think I am a rich woman, damn it. Is a 1 million yuan car not enough? What should we do if our families drive cars worth hundreds of thousands of yuan? There was a commotion downstairs, but I was lying on the upper bunk thinking. The sophomore was named Su and liked to play King of Glory. I took out my cell phone calmly and checked the time. It was 7:30 in the evening. If Suchi didn't have classes, she would usually go to the internet cafe to play games. I called Suchi, but she hung up directly. Then a message came in. What's wrong, baby? I'm playing games and it's not convenient to answer the phone. Be good and I'll come to you after I finish playing games. AI Shwe. Call your suitor quickly and let's hear what he sounds like. Okay. AI Shwe took out her cell phone, found a number, dialed it, turned on the speakerphone and the phone rang. It was picked up instantly before it rang twice. I heard that my boyfriend Suchi's voice was on the other end of the phone. Hello, Xiao Shwe. Wow, the people downstairs are making a fuss again. AI Shwe coughed lightly. My roommate wants to say a few words to you. Hello, Senior Su, I heard you are chasing our Xiao Shue. Our Xiao Shue is a real rich woman. Don't think that you can win AI Shue's heart by just buying a bag. You have to keep working hard. Suchi heard and laughed sullenly. Don't worry, I will treat her well, a good one. Suchi first bought me a cheap second-hand bag, and then lent me 30,000 yuan, and finally used the money to buy AI Shue a bag of more than 20,000 yuan. It's a good trick to get something for nothing. I even treated the second-hand LV. She gave me as a treasure, I sneered, jumped off the bed and walked towards AI Shue. I took AI Shue's mobile phone directly. AI Shue jumped up. Hello, what are you doing? Hearing the movement here, Suchi's concerned voice came from the other end of the phone. What's wrong with Xiao Shue? What happened? Don't worry, nothing has happened yet. But I can't promise you what will happen later. As soon as I finished speaking, the other side fell into silence. I even heard the sound of Suchi taking a breath. Chaoran, what's the matter? How could it be? AI Shue took the phone back and looked at me. Chaoran, I think you are crazy. No one is pursuing you, so you can't stand seeing others being pursued, right? The other roommates looked at each other, not knowing how it turned out like this. They hurried out to persuade them to stop fighting. I ignored AI Shue, put on a coat, picked up my phone and walked out. More than 10 minutes later, I waited for Suchi under the dormitory. While waiting for her, I found the class group and found AI Shue in the group. I clicked on her circle of friends. Although I didn't add her as a friend, strangers can also see 15 of AI Shue's circle of friends. Her circle of friends is full of her own selfies, and some fragments of her life. It is said that the circle of friends is like a personal display stand. It is from AI Shue that I have seen the feeling conveyed by the circle of friends. She is indeed a tasteful, rich and beautiful woman. In fact, no one understands the real situation of his family better than me. His father drives a million-level car. His father was paralyzed in bed after a car accident. Is he driving with his head? At this moment I saw Suchi, paused for a moment from a distance, then walked up slowly, her eyes a little evasive. Quietly, I'm sorry, I didn't know you and AI Shue were roommates. Please don't be angry about me and him. It's all my fault, I didn't say anything. I slapped Suchi in the face. Suchi tilted her head and gritted her teeth. Xiao Chaoran, what can't you say nicely? Are you a shrew? He rubbed his face. Different is different. You are so impatient. I've had enough of you. AI Shue's family is so rich, but she doesn't have such a bad temper like you. Xiao Chaoran, what right do you have? The senior's voice fell and AI Shue ran out of the dormitory building, ran over with a concerned look. Are you okay? After checking Suchi's face, AI Shue turned her head and looked at me. Why are you still hitting people? Xiao Chaoran, have you had enough? You blame your boyfriend for liking someone else because you have no charm. Senior Su has wanted to break up with you a long time ago. If you still have any shame, then don't pester him anymore. I'm sorry. He and I have broken up and I have no intention of pestering trash. I laughed contemptuously and crossed my arms. Su, you don't think I called you over to win you back, do you? Do you need me to remind you that you still owe me 30,000 yuan? Suchi's face suddenly became extremely ugly. Oh, by the way, when I was waiting for you just now, I had deleted all your contact information. Please transfer it to me face to face. Let's part ways in peace. As I said that, I opened my own code with a smile. Suchi supported after hesitating for a long time. I couldn't say a word. Oh, I almost forgot that you climbed up the ladder. I moved my horse in front of AI Shue again. Otherwise, please, this beautiful rich lady, pay you back on behalf of her future boyfriend. AI Shue glared at me. I knew that he couldn't even take out 3,000, let alone 30,000. Seeing the two of them being frustrated, I was not in a hurry. I just held up the phone and refused to put it down. That's enough. Suchi stood up straight and looked at me coldly. Our matter has nothing to do with Xiaoxue. It's just 30,000 yuan. I'll give it to you in 2 days and then we'll break up. I returned the LV Express that Suchi had given me to her. I didn't want to have anything to do with this kind of person anymore. A few days later, Suchi returned the money to me, but it was not the 30,000 yuan. He actually pulled out a table and listed all the expenses in the past 6 months of dating, saying that he would split the bill with me. He even charged me for the depreciation of the bag he gave me. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Never mind. I'm too lazy to argue with him over this little money. Ai Shui, on the other hand, seemed to be in a bad mood in the dormitory these days. It makes sense. She thought she was hooking up with a rich second-generation man, but he turned out to be a poor student. After all, we live in the same dormitory. I heard Ai Shui's phone ringing these days. They were all calls and messages from Suchi. Sometimes when Ai Shui answered the phone, I could vaguely hear Suchi's pleading voice. Xiaoxue, I really like you. Please give me a chance, okay? I know that Suchi thought Ai Shui was really fair, rich and beautiful, so he was trying to curry favor with her. This let's lock it up, that's good. Ever since the last incident, Ai Shui and I can't stay in the same room together. The main reason is that I don't want to have anything to do with Ai Shui anymore. And I don't want him to know my true identity. So I've been working on it these days, thinking of renting a house and moving out by myself so that I can feel at ease. That night, I was the only one in the dormitory. I ordered a takeout and started eating in the dormitory. I had just taken 2 bites when I received a video call from my adoptive mother. On the other end of the video, a well-maintained middle-aged woman was looking at me with a smile. My eldest daughter is eating junk food again. Can mom still chat with me? Mom knows you're not feeling well in college. Your dad looked at your photos these days and kept saying that you've lost weight, which makes him feel distressed. You don't eat well, and there are 6 people in one dormitory. Our daughter has never suffered such hardship since she was a child. I slurped a mouthful of noodles. It's okay. I'm looking for a house to rent these days. I'll move out when I find a suitable one. Don't look for it anymore. Your parents are already in Shuxiangmen. And I bought you a house. A 1,800 square meter large flat with fine decoration. You don't need to worry about anything. Tomorrow you can find time to go to the agency to transfer the house, and you can move in at night. Shuxiangmen is a community next to our university town. I didn't refuse and agreed casually while stuffing food into my mouth. After washing up in the evening, the other roommates were chatting. Xiaoxue, you really have to move out. The rent of Shuxiangmen is so expensive. An 80 square meter house costs more than 3,000 a month, and I'm not short of money, so 3,000 is nothing to me. Besides, it will be more convenient to live outside, which I also want to do, but I don't have the money. Aishu, your parents are so good to you. Are you an only child? Aishu snorted from the wing of her nose. I have an older sister, but she ran away from home because of her willfulness. Our family has always regarded her as dead. I have hated him since I was a child. I really want him to see how well I am doing now. I couldn't help but sneer again, turned over, squinted my eyes and fell asleep without saying a word. The next day I was woken up by a call from the agent. When I looked at the time, it was only 9 o'clock in the morning. The agent said that I had to go early, otherwise the transfer might not be completed in the afternoon. I had no choice but to get up and pack up, because the person must be present for the transfer. I was busy with this matter all morning, and it was not until almost 12 noon that I finally completed the procedures. The agent's name was Xiao Wang, a young man in his early 20s. He was very attentive and nodded to me all the way. Miss Xia, I will go back to the company to sign a contract, and then you can get the key to move into the new house. The sun was so hot that I didn't want to talk. I nodded lazily. As soon as I returned to the agency, I unexpectedly saw 2 familiar figures in the contract signing area. Mr. Su and Miss AI. This is the rental contract. If there are no problems, you can sign the contract and swipe the payment. Su Chi's expression looked, he felt very painful. Is the minimum deposit 1 in 3 payments? We are all students. Can we have a deposit 1 in 3 payments? I'm sorry, I'm afraid that's not possible. The deposit 1 in 3 payments is something I and the landlord have negotiated for a long time to get. Originally, they wanted to rent it out according to semesters. Can the agency fee be cheaper? 2% is too high. He emphasized again that we are all students. It seemed that the 2 people had been stalling for a long time. The agency lady was a little impatient, but she still smiled and said, I'm sorry, most of the people who come here to rent are college students next door. This price is our company's nationwide unified charge. It's not something I, an agent, can change at will. In fact, this house is very popular. If you are really embarrassed, you can think about it again. Hearing what the agent said, Su Chi had to bite the bullet and sign. It looks quite lively here in Zay. I'm standing in the distance. There was an attitude of watching a show. To be honest, I was quite puzzled because Suchi told me that her family conditions were quite ordinary, but why did she look at me as if she was willing to spend a lot of money for Aishua? The two people looked up and obviously saw me. The moment Aishua's expression met my gaze, she instantly became arrogant. "Oh, you also rented a house by yourself," he said, holding his hair, his eyes full of contempt. "Others rented a house and you followed suit. Xia Chaoran, I think you are a shrewd imitator." However, before I could say anything, the agent Xiao Wang jumped out and stood up for me. "Who do you say is renting a house?" "Sorry, Miss Xia didn't pay a deposit of 1.5 times the rent, and she didn't have to bargain for half a day. She directly paid the full amount for a large flat of 180 square meters. I just completed the transfer of ownership." Suchi stood up suddenly. "What did you say? Everyone knows that the house prices in this scholarly family close to the university town are ridiculously expensive." He looked at me in disbelief, then at the agent, his face full of shock. Aishua was sitting next to him. She was stunned for a moment, then her expression became very distorted, and she almost gritted her teeth and said word by word, "Buying a house in full, just relying on him." I walked up slowly, pulled out a chair, and sat opposite the two of them, supporting my chin with my hand. Some people are not white, rich and beautiful locals. Their fathers drive a $1 million luxury car. They can't even afford a house of only 57,000 per square meter, right? Aishua was obviously holding her breath, her face swollen red and white, and finally, as if she suddenly thought of something, she smiled with relief, leaned back on the backrest, sneered. "It's good to be with a rich man. You can spend money lavishly, Xia Chaoran, am I right?" Yes, I did." "Rich man," I nodded. "Ha!" Aishua jumped up as if he had caught me with something, pointing at me and said, "You admitted it. Did you hear that? He admitted it himself." "I admit it. I am indeed a Xia on the list. I am my father's rich man." "You don't rely on a rich father because you don't want to." Aishua realized that I had fooled him. He was so angry that he rushed forward and said, "Xia Chaoran, you dare to hide it from me, I will tear your face off." Several real estate agents around hurriedly stepped forward to stop Aishua. "Miss Ai, please calm down. This is a public place." I yawned. "Xiao Wang, I haven't paid your agency fee yet. I'm afraid I'm not in the mood to have such people here. I'll pay you right away. The agency fee for renting a house is at most a few thousand yuan, but the agency fee for a house transaction is hundreds of thousands. Which is more important?" These people are mixed up. Having been a social intermediary for so long, he has his own weighing of the pros and cons. Xiao Wang received the order and winked at those people. Several people together invited Aishua to leave. "What are you doing? Didn't I pay you the agency fee? Why did you treat me like this? Let me go, I will go to complain to you." Suchi did not chase Aishua immediately, but walked towards me. "It happened that your family is so rich, why didn't you tell me? It's none of your business that my family is rich." I saw the regret in Suchi's eyes. Seeing that I didn't want to pay attention to him at all, he walked away reluctantly. That night, I received a text message from Suchi. Because I blocked his phone number, it was sent from an unfamiliar number. I glanced at this densely packed essay and deleted it without even reading it. In the following days, I lived alone and was very free without squeezing into the dormitory. But after all, we live in the same residential complex, and I would occasionally meet Aishua, but I usually pretended not to see her, until one evening I was carrying the fruits I had just bought, humming a song and walking towards home in a good mood. As soon as I walked out of the elevator, an excited voice suddenly called out to me, "Stop, Xiaoyu, are you Xiaoyu?" I turned my head and saw a face that I never wanted to see again in this life, Chen Qing, my biological mother. To be honest, my memories of my childhood are very vague. All of them are scattered fragments. For example, when we eat chicken legs at home, my dad always gets one and Aishua gets one. I would be scolded for protecting my food even if I ate chicken wings. For example, it was Aishua who came to grab the toy in my hand in a domineering manner, and I refused to give it to him, so he started crying. The crying replaced Chanqing, and he would point at my scalp without any reason and scold me, saying, "You are a sister, and you should give in to your sister, aren't you?" As it should be, this was the phrase I heard most often in the past, and it was also the phrase I hated to hear the most. I don't remember these fragments completely, but everything I experienced that day was a fear that I will never forget in my life. It was a rainy day and it was pouring rain. I remember that Chanqing was riding an electric bike for a long time before we finally stopped in front of a building. Chanqing didn't even leave me an umbrella, and pointed to the eaves not far away, saying, "Wait for me here, I'm going to buy something." I nodded obediently, hugged myself and squatted there from day to night. It was the rainy season in autumn, and it was so cold that I was shivering all over, staring at the direction where Chanqing left. As time went by, I seemed to understand something. I cried so desperately at that time, and I even felt that I could give in to Aishua. I no longer coveted the chicken leg that I had always been craving for. I can even let him beat and scold me. Just beg him not to throw me away. I just want to have a home. At this time, the woman who threw me at the door of the welfare home without even looking back was crying, as if she would faint at any time because of sadness. She held my arm and refused to let go. Xiaoyu, it's really you. Mom didn't expect to see you again. Do you know how your mother has been living all these years? I pulled my arm out coldly. You recognized the wrong person. It's impossible. Chunqing grabbed my arm and checked your wrist. There is a birthmark here. You are mine. Xiaoyu, if you don't believe it, we can go for a paternity test. Mom knows that you hate me in your heart. Mom was wrong, Mom was really wrong. Can we talk? He pulled me in the corridor, crying like this, causing the neighbors next door to open the door and look outside. I frowned and opened the door of my own room. Then I turned my head and looked at him. Miss Chun, you and I have nothing to do with each other anymore. If you keep crying in front of my house, I will have to call the property management and ask the security to come and kick you out. Chun Jing looked at me exhausted. All these years of working in the snack stand had made her facial skin extremely rough. She held the door handle and begged me. Xiaoyu's mother came here specifically to apologize to you. In all these years, Mom has never had a good night's sleep. We have been looking for you. Let me in, Mom wants to chat with you, just a few words. I smiled slightly, took out my cell phone and made a call. 5 minutes later, the security department came over. I sat on the sofa in the room, listening to the sound of Chun-Qing being dragged away by the guard outside the closed door. I continued to play with my cell phone silently. If Chun-Qing hadn't appeared suddenly, I wouldn't have noticed how much I hate him. It is also thanks to me that Chun-Qing was added to the blacklist of the community. When the security guard saw it was him, he would not let him enter the community at all. I thought he would give up, but who knew that he would persevere and chase me to the school. Seeing this, I had no choice but to agree. I gave him a chance to meet and chat, and asked him to go to school at noon today and wait for me by the artificial lake. The original meeting time was 12 o'clock, but because the get out of class was over early, I arrived at the artificial lake in advance. I never thought that I would see AI Shui at the artificial lake. I hid behind a rock and watched AI Shui pulling Chun-Qing's arm. Mom, what do you want to do? Xiao Shui is your real sister. Who would want to recognize that kind of person as a sister? Xia Qiaoran and I will never have any contact with each other. Either she or I can't be in this family. If you want to recognize her so much, then it's my turn to go this time. You child. When can I be relieved? Chun-Qing sighed. The white hair on his temples became more and more obvious in the sun. I watched from a distance without saying a word. If I remember correctly, this was the first time Chun-Qing spoke to me, but unexpectedly, Chun-Qing's voice changed the next second. Do you think Mom really wants to recognize that dead girl in your dad's and my heart? You must always be the first. Everything Mom does now is for you. Do you know how rich AIU's current adoptive parents are? Let's recognize AIU back to the AI family. Then all his money will be yours. AI Shui, who was still in a bad mood, heard the words. Her eyes suddenly lit up. Mom, you mean that we should admit our mistakes to him? After all, we are flesh and blood relatives. I don't believe that the dead girl is really so hard-hearted. Listen to Mom and don't go against your sister. Your future dowry still has to rely on your sister's rich adoptive parents, and I will compensate you then. Isn't it easy to give $1 million or 800,000? And the money for your father's medical treatment, you can ask AIU for all these, even if he doesn't want to give it to you. You tell me whether Mom should go to AIU to ask him or coax him back. AI Shui was obviously persuaded. The mother and daughter seemed to have begun to look forward to a bright future. When I heard this, I turned around and walked away expressionlessly, thinking, go and dream about making money for me. In the following period of time, I asked for sick leave from school. Yes, I was hiding from that family of vampires until they got bored and left on their own. In itself, I am not the kind of person who likes to join in the fun. Staying at home is not a difficult thing for me. I even enjoy the feeling of not going out. Until a phone call broke the peace of many days. Excuse me, are you Miss Xia Qiaoran? Are you us? Please forgive me, my program team. We have been requested by our client, Chun-Qing, to invite you to participate in our program. I wonder if it is convenient for you. Some scenes of this program quickly popped up in my mind. I have seen this program. It is an emotional program. It is broadcast on a certain TV station every Saturday at 10 o'clock. In the program, some men and women who have successfully recognized their relatives or resolved misunderstandings will create many sensational scenes, which often make many viewers cry. I refused without thinking. I'm sorry, I'm afraid it's not convenient. Please don't call me in the future. After saying this, I hung up the phone directly. However, the matter was pushed to a climax on the day this episode was broadcast because I was on the hot search. After receiving the push hot search on my mobile phone, my breathing accelerated uncontrollably. I hurried to use the computer. I opened the web page, and sure enough, on the popularity rankings, I saw a hot search titled, Looking for the Language of Love. I moved the mouse with my finger and clicked on that hot search, and what came into view was a video. It was a clip from the show Please Forgive Me. The program's process was to invite Chanqing to be a guest, to talk about what happened in his mental journey, and finally to count down together through the contact of the program team to see if the invited person would accept the apology. When I arrived at the scene, Chanqing cried sincerely in front of the camera. "I just want to find my lost daughter. Xiaoyu, after you got lost, our whole family has really been looking for you. Mom didn't let go of your hand on purpose. Mom was just careless for a moment and didn't keep a close eye on you. If you have seen this show, please forgive me. Mom and Dad miss you very much. We are all waiting for you to come home. To be honest, I am so angry. They were all shaking and got lost accidentally. Does that mean that if others don't get angry, they are treated as fools? What makes me even more angry is not Chanqing's distortion of right and wrong and his hypocritical behavior in this program, but that I found that I was being cyberbullied because when I clicked on this video, the comment section below was full of criticisms of me. Oh my god, I cried. Is you there? Is your heart made of stone? Your mother didn't mean it. I heard that the program crew has contacted you, but the little girl didn't want to come. How can children nowadays be so indifferent? To be honest, it makes me have high blood pressure. What's the point of learning this kind of ungrateful person? Do the parents owe him that? He said it was not intentional, but he still hides and refuses to see me. I feel so uncomfortable when I see this mother crying. It was her first time to be a mother. Even if she made mistakes, why can't we understand each other? Mother Chun has been searching for him for so long, but this man named you doesn't even want to meet him. To be honest, I feel heartbroken when I see this. At this time, an anonymous comment was gradually pushed to the front. I know this you in real life. He has changed a lot now. The reason why he doesn't want to go home is because his current adoptive parents are quite rich, so he doesn't want to return to his original family. Once this comment came out, it was like a stone that caused 1,000 waves. The emotions of netizens were mobilized to the point that they all posted comments under this comment, typing on the keyboard in indignation. Some extreme people even cursed people. Words came out of my mouth. I closed my eyes, turned on the computer directly, and called Shui. That comment was left anonymously by you, right? Since I was abandoned, no one knows that I was called you except that family. Even my adoptive parents don't know. So what? Shui's tone was very smug. Since you are given a way out and you refuse to take it, don't blame me for being rude. Xia Chaoran, I tell you, don't think that just because your adoptive parents are rich, they can abandon their biological parents at will. You, like me, have the responsibility to support your parents. How does it feel to be cyberbullied? And you are still hiding? I tell you, if you keep hiding from us, this matter is not over. I don't mind making you more famous. I took a deep breath and said, okay. You and Chanqing come to my house tomorrow morning and we'll have a good talk. As expected, Chanqing and Shui knocked on my door on time the next day. From the moment Chanqing stepped into the door, he looked around my house with greed in his eyes. Xiaoyu, this house you live in is so high-end and big. With such a big house, our whole family will not feel crowded when we move in the future. I say it again, I have nothing to do with you anymore. You are on the show. Aren't you ashamed of what you said? How dare you say I was lost? Wasn't it you who abandoned me in the orphanage? Xiaoyu, Mom knows you blame me, but the family conditions were indeed difficult at the time, and Mom had no choice but to abandon you at the door of the orphanage. After all, you are the elder sister, and it is not appropriate to abandon your younger sister. Chanqing doesn't even want to pretend. Mom doesn't want to embarrass you on purpose. I know that your adoptive parents are both well-known figures. Your classmates envy your college classmates. Your friends all think that you are the real daughter of the Xia family. The rich daughter turned out to be a fake adopted daughter. Do you think people in your school will talk about you behind your back after they find out? If you don't want others to know about this, you can also say that after all, we are all family and can discuss everything. Okay, I interrupted him and said, just tell me what you want before you let me go. Shui continued. It's very simple. We can stop pestering you. As long as you pay the alimony for your parents, we won't ask for much. 10 million is nothing to you now. Besides, as your parents' biological daughter, you also have the obligation to support your parents. I sat on the sofa unhurried. I drank a sip of tea. 10 million, right? You can go home and wait, I will arrange it. Chanqing and Shui were delighted when they heard this. They left after leaving a bank card number. Before leaving, Shui turned her head and showed me a winner's smile. Xia Chaoran, 10 million to buy your current Xia family's daughter. Your reputation is not bad. I didn't say anything and slammed the door. The next morning I took my bank card, changed my shoes, and walked towards the bank to prepare to transfer the money. After the transfer, I sat on the chair in the bank and edited a lot of words one by one. I wrote a few words and clicked send. Then I got up and walked towards home. Just as I reached the gate of the community, I saw Shui and Chanqing from a distance. They were standing there as if waiting for me to go back. When Shui saw me, she couldn't squeeze forward and asked in an aggressive tone, "Didn't we agree to transfer the money today?" How come it hasn't arrived yet? I said slowly, there's no rush. Why don't you take a look at the hot searches first? AI Shue's face sank, and he quickly picked up his phone to check it out. The more he looked at it, the uglier his face looked. On his lit phone screen, a clarification Weibo from me was displayed. Everyone who pays attention to it. Hello? Media friends and netizens who are concerned about this incident. I am AIU, also known as Xiao Chaoran, the person involved in this incident. I was originally a freshman at Zhongqing University, but this incident has seriously affected my life. So, for the first and last time I will make a clarification. I am not Liang Bo, who is greedy for wealth and fame and is unwilling to recognize his biological parents. It's just that the person you call the pitiful parent is the one who threw me at the door of the welfare home 12 years ago and walked away. You think he is pitiful, but who was pitiful at the time? I was abandoned at the age of 6. It was me. My adoptive parents took me, who were only 6 years old, back to their home. They loved me like their own daughter and gave me unprecedented warmth. Even if I have to be filial, I should be filial to the people who raised me. Is it worthy of someone who gives birth to a child but doesn't raise it and abandons it at will? They abandoned me in the first place, and now seeing that my adoptive parents are from a wealthy family, they have evil ideas and want to take me back. You're dreaming. An AI Shui from the first class of the management department of Zhongqing University. Don't pretend to be rich and beautiful in school. Aren't you tired? Instead of wasting time, you might as well be filial to your parents and help your mother sell more pancakes. As soon as this message was sent after a few days, the fermentation of the search for AI Shui incident instantly landed on the hot search list, and one comment directly exploded. As long as I live long enough, I can wait for the reversal of the incident. How can the Changqing family be so shameless? They abandoned their daughter and even had the nerve to go on a family search program, licking their old faces shamelessly, saying that it was because of their childhood that AI Shui from Zhongqing University was lost. Help, he is my high school classmate. I always thought he was a rich and beautiful woman. He has always created this kind of personality. I didn't expect that his mother was a pancake seller. Can a pancake seller raise a daughter so richly? So now, is it too late to sell it? Shit, Xiao Chaoran and I are high school classmates. He is a really nice guy with good character, but he is not Xiao's biological son. Oh, it's good to clarify openly, which is much better than some vain people. Of course there are some comments. Li Zhongke said something passing by. I think both sides are not good people. Both sides have no evidence. Who knows which side is telling the truth? But what that person didn't expect was that I posted a recording of when I invited Aishu and Changqing to my house yesterday, deliberately guiding them to tell the truth of the year. In the recording, the other party's ugly face was completely exposed on the internet. Mom knows that you blame me, but the family conditions were indeed difficult at the time, and Mom had no choice but to abandon you at the door of the welfare home. After all, you are the elder sister, and it is not appropriate to abandon your younger sister. Mom does not want to deliberately embarrass you. I know that your adoptive parents are both well-known figures, and your classmates envy you very much. Those college classmates and your friends all think that you are the real daughter of the Xiao family. The daughter of a rich family turned out to be a fake adopted daughter. Do you think that people in the school will talk about you behind your back after knowing this? If you don't want others to know about this, you can also say that after all, we are all family and can discuss everything. The 10 million matter is settled. The conversation is clear. Under the heavy hammer, the truth is completely revealed. AI Shui gritted her teeth and stared at me angrily. You actually recorded it. I raised my eyebrows and raised my mobile phone. I forgot to say that here is the transfer record of 10 million. I have just transferred the money to the bank and gave it to the Small Animal Protection Association in this city. I'm sorry, even if I throw this money to a dog, I won't give you a penny. Changqing was struck by lightning. During this period of time his fantasy was completely shattered, and he fell to the ground all of a sudden. AI Shui was trembling all over. The dream of 10 million was gone, and the image of a white, rich, beautiful goddess that she had cultivated for many years was also destroyed. She would be shot to death in the future. According to his temper and personality, I'm afraid he would not have the face to continue studying in college. Bitch, you bitch, I'm going to fight you. AI Shui was about to rush forward, but was blocked by several policemen. Sorry, you are suspected of blackmail. Please come with us. Suspected of blackmail, it's you. Changqing looked at me with trembling lips. He looked at the police, and his knees softened and he fell to the ground. She knelt down in front of me and said, Xiaoyu's mother really knows she was wrong. She really knows she was wrong this time. We are related by blood. My blood flows in your body. You won't be so heartless, right? The sky was covered with dark clouds. There was a thunder, and raindrops fell cracklingly. I said nothing but tucked my hair behind my ears, then turned around and left without looking back, just as resolute as when he abandoned me that year. Later, my adoptive parents saw the hot search on the internet, And they received an anxious video and called me directly. Such a big thing happened to my daughter, why didn't you tell me and your father? My mother's face, there is still a facial mask on her face. Maybe she forgot that the mask is a little deformed and wrinkled because of anger, which makes me so angry. How can there be such a shameless person in this world, baby? You have been wronged. Ran promised daddy that if you encounter problems in the future, just contact me as soon as possible. Okay, you don't need to show up. Daddy can settle everything for you. I raised my daughter to spoil her. Definitely not to suffer these kinds of anger. Looking at the anxious and worried expressions of mom and dad on the other side of the camera, my heart warmed, and my eyes instantly felt hot. Mom and dad, I miss you. I still want to be your daughter in the next life. The whole text is over.